Hello and welcome back. So in this video, we are going to talk about the basic syntax for the Go language. In many programming languages, when you want to terminate any statement or end any statement, you add a semicolon. So this semicolon identifies that now this statement ended. Now if you want to start a new statement, you can add any space and even write something like that. Okay, just showing you as an example. But when we're talking about the Go language, we need to know that we just cannot add the semicolon. We have to go to the next line. So the line break, I mean this thing, pressing the enter key to add a line break, is actually the way to end any statement in the Go language. So ultimately you did it, you added a line break. So now you can add the further coding here. Now you might be thinking that why the function main didn't get break here when we added a line break, because the curly braces always looks for its end, because the curly brace is a pair, from there to there it is something which is connected together, but a single statement without and no, there is no any curly braces or something which identifies a connection. So here if you add a line break, you ultimately now able to add a new statement. So let me try this. Print ln second hello world. Okay, save it. Now I'm going to the here, and I am simply gonna run the terminal, and I'm running the file, and I got some different error anyway. Now I added the right thing. Now just go there and just line break. Okay, another one. Now this should be fine anyway. Now just run this one now. Okay, you can see that the hello world and the second hello world, that means both of them are here, so it is actually working fine. So this is how you just end any statement by adding a line break. Okay, a few things more you need to know. The white space law. So for example, we didn't talk about the variables yet, but let me just draw something. The variables are something, you can say, a way to store data in the Go language, but we're not gonna talk about the variables specifically by now. Just to mention the white spaces, I'm using the variable. Okay, so I'm adding a var and I'm adding in space, then I'm typing something like val1, now space equals to, now here I'm typing val1 equals to 4. Okay, now val2 equals to 5 plus 8. Okay, they're showing a red line because the Go language thinks I did something wrong, and what wrong I did here is they're just unused. This is a great thing of the Go language anyway, that you just cannot import a thing which you're not using, or you cannot declare a variable if you're not using. So because these things can slow down the process, so for the better coding, it means you just cannot add something unused, and for proper readable documentation, the Go doesn't allow us to just add something which is you're not gonna use or you're not using anyway. So the better way is to comment them. We will talk about the comment later in this video. Anyway, for example, here I have added import fmt, but here I've used the import fmt. But if I just simply delete that, you would notice that here it's gonna be a bug. You can see that now the fmt now became a bug because imported and not used. That means we imported something we're not using, so we should not even import that. So anyway, we have to do like that, and then we are going down and we have to use that fmt package here again for the print ln, and here first of all we are calling the val1. Now you should notice that it became right, no bug anymore. It was not a kind of real bug, but just the Go language was not allowing us to do so, because the rule is we just cannot do add some unused things. Anyway, there the print ln val2, the if I just go there and if I just run that, you can see that first of all you should see the hello world and the second hello world, then 4 and 14. Okay, now the thing is, I have added in a space here, I have added in a space here, I have added in a space here. Okay, if I delete the space here and here and there and there, so it won't affect the coding. Just go there and check that again. So you would notice that you can see that the 4 and the 14, it is still exactly the same I needed. I can remove this space from here and from there too. So now if I just save it again, I would have the same result again, but I just cannot remove the space from here, because if I just remove the space from here, it won't be a keyword var anymore. I mean, we have to add some spaces at some places. For example, I'm removing this space. Now you can see that the bug, and what's the mean of the bug? We just even didn't define it. It's not unused anymore. We can call it unused even, because this is val2 and this is var val2, but what is the type of this thing? Here we're declaring it as a variable, then we are adding the name of the variable. We are first telling that we want to make a variable, then we are adding a variable name and the value. But here we are not identifying what is this thing, so we're not defining the method. So adding a space, now here this space is actually defining what is this thing, the var, and then a space and then val2. Okay, but unnecessary spaces are not important. Even these unnecessary spaces will be automatically ignored, so whether you add them or don't add them doesn't matter. So I'm removing these spaces, just simple like that. So anyway, you can see that the program is still the same. That means the spaces, the extra space is ignored. Even these spaces are ignored. You do not need to add these spaces. You can compress the program by this way. But for the code readability, especially for us, because we are just about to learn the Go language, I have added those spaces. You can see that it should be still the same. You can see that still we are getting the same result, but I'm adding these spaces because I'm just teaching the very basics by now. Anyway, what if we need to add something which is unused, but we want that in a document, so we may use that later. So for example, I'm making a variable. This is what we call comment in a programming language, and this is something another we're just talking in a video. For example, I'm making a val3, and the value for the val3 I'm adding as the 89. Okay, cool, but we're not using it. So how we can secure this thing while not using? So all we need to do is to add some comment here. Adding comment in a Go language is pretty simple. You just need to add the slash, and then you have to add the asterisk sign, but be careful, because once you add the slash and the asterisk sign, you can see that everything went green. So where you just want to add the comment, now I just wanted to add the comment here. Okay, so starting tag of the comment and ending tag of the comment, both are very important to identify which area of what code I want to comment. So you can see that this is now commented, and now ultimately this will be ignored by the compiler. Compiler just will not read it. Just go here and just practice this. You would notice it here. You can see that the 4 and 14. If I just remove the signs of the comment, just save it. Now I'm gonna have the bug, because it won't allow us to do that. the val3 declared and not used. So this is something not good for the Go language. So these are the basic logics we need to know, the basic syntax of the Go language. Now there is a one very important thing you need to know. There are some keywords, or you can say reserved words for the Go language. For example, the var is a reserved word, so you just cannot use this word for a variable. For example, here I'm typing var and then I'm using var again equals to 5. This is not a good thing to write, the variable name. This is a single word by now, but this is not alone. We have many other reserved words. For example, the func is a reserved word. The import, the package, these are the reserved words anyway. So you can see that here, unexpected var expecting name, you can see that however it is attached, but it won't work because it is not programmatically attached. So we are getting a syntax error. We just cannot use the var because it is a keyword. We can add something like var1. Now it should be okay. Now we would get the error like declared and not used, because now it is actually the var1 is declared. Now we're not calling it var, we're calling it var1. Var1 can be a word, but exactly the same reserved word cannot be used. This is the basic thing you need to know when you're making the values. One more thing you need to know, that the Go language is a case sensitive language. What's the mean of the case sensitivity? For example, you have made a variable val1. So if you just make a variable here val v is capital, now val2, and here you're adding the value like 9. Now save it. Now I'm just commenting this. Okay. Oh, one more thing. If you want to commit a single line, you can add the double slashes. If you want to commit multiple lines, you can use this slash and asterisk, slash asterisk and slash. So you can use this here too. But if you're commenting a single line, so you just can simply add the double slashes just before the program or the line, till the end of the line. The comment will be applied. But on the other hand, you can add some more actual codes right after the ending tag of the comment. But here you cannot end this unless the line ends. You can just line break it like this one. So anyway, here we're gonna use this one. We're just going here, we're typing fmt.println and val2. Now v is capital by now. I'm going here and I'm just running this now. So we're getting the result. Okay, now first of all, the val1 is 4, so we're getting 4 here. In the val2 is 6 plus 8 equals to 14, and a val2 again, but this val2 has the v capital, so it is 9. So you can see that we are getting the 9 here. If I add the plus 20 or 28, save it. Now I'm going here and I'm gonna have the results anyway. So you would see that here the 14 and the 37, because 28 plus 9 is 37. So you need to know that it is case sensitive. You just cannot go with the v capital and the v small as a one thing. Both are different. There are some more things when we would talk about the variables, we would discuss them, but for now we was only discussing the basic syntax. So in the next lecture we're going to talk about something different. Till then, goodbye.